time for the Navia Quest. Braving the tides together. Okay, just let's start off immediately. Oh, and because I didn't watch the 4.7 live stream, I also never saw something that was in there that YouTube was offering it to me, but I just didn't watch it because I didn't want to be spoiled for anything. So I might do that later on. But for now, let's go check in with Navia, see how things are going.
Well, if it isn't my dear partners.
That voice! It's Navia!
Yep. Hey Navia, how are you doing?
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere?
Just getting our daily dose of adventuring in. No plans in particular.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
Yeah, that was a lot.
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of. Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster. Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson.
I imagine it's been a very trying time. Wasn't Spina de Rosula affected too? Should you really be the ones offering compensation?
Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Oh, spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That must be taking up most of your time though, right?
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another. So before I came over this time, I took a page from Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't checked off.
Very, very smart. And then?
And then, since Melus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
To be fair, that does happen. Like, you may start off, your handwriting's nice and neat, and then at the end, what the heck did you put on that piece of paper?
That does sound like you, all right. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
I'll give it a look.
Let Paimon see. Wait. There's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one, is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
I mean, hey, reasonable things to put on your list.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Maybe just use standardized shorthand symbols next time? Maybe just write out each next time? No, if you want to be fun with it and do symbols, maybe just more standardized.
Thank you for your advice. These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself. I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later. Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Well, now you know for next time.
Yep. You learned now, so you definitely can improve on it later.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the things on the list. There are still a few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything too super important. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Ah, so you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, actually, Actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, wanna come with me and check out the town for yourself? You said you don't have any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at all.
We did say that, so you know, Navia, you're right. We should head over with you.
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
I think this is a complete 180 from my emotions not even 30 minutes ago. But I'd be interested in taking a look. It would be a pretty nice break, too.
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat.
Oh,
The Aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats.
okay, we're getting a personalized boat ride. That's amazing. Sounds good to me.
All right, follow me. I'll take you there.
Oh, here we are.
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks. We can head out as soon as we get the green light.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 Aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
Spina de Rosula was one of the main sponsors for construction, right?
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home. Paimon doesn't get it.
That is true.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub, so there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson. You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Though it is extra work, so you do have to really feel it's worth it.
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The Aquabus is so convenient, it's really a huge shame.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggled to figure out what was going on in his head.
Well, something that big also wouldn't have just been his call. Perhaps the rest of the Spina didn't see a point to having a 4th line.
But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it.
I mean, yeah, no, that does sound exactly like him.
From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Okay, very, very stubborn. Like, once he made up his mind, yeah, he's in for that.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Those were very tense times, but yeah, it's more understandable now.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just... not very agreeable.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out.
I feel bad though, like everything that came up with Navia during the Fontaine Archon quest was just so much. I can't imagine how I would be if that was me. Braving the tides together.
It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person?
If Navia knows how to... Oh, yeah, no, we're
Paimon's
like...
sorry. She
No.
totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
But maybe Navia's heard stories, but yeah, no, you would think she wouldn't remember.
That's
Yeah.
all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws. My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
That is very helpful, having someone ready for more business areas and for
Sounds
more
like they
outreach.
were not just a well-matched couple,
Yeah.
but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, exactly. Really good business partners on that end.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her. But sometimes, I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning.
She's mentioning Malus and Silver so casually. It's
I
still
will always associate the line
close
with
to
her
me.
in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward.
That's a stupid question we're about to ask. Do you miss them?
Always.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter what, we can't change the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up.
Yeah, there was no way she wasn't still missing them.
Ah, we've reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you the new Poisson.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right?
She seems to be managing. She's always been having to cope with one thing or another. She's definitely managing, but no, she's like, every time we meet her, she's having to deal with something. Like, usually very heavy. It's
Okay.
a
Paimon
lot.
supposes you're right. She's really been through a lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by herself.
Certainly not. Enter Poisson. It's been a minute since I've been down here. I literally, like a few minutes ago, I mentioned that this is a 180 from how I was feeling during the end of the Archon quest, but the emotions are steadily catching back up to me. Oh, is that Florent? I'm gonna be saying names wrong, trust me. I know.
Boss, you're back!
I was correct.
Traveler and Paimon, welcome back to Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I
Wow.
can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance.
Yeah, Paimon, she got this, okay?
We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
That's good to hear you have someone there who can help you out when you need it.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
Oh, you definitely do, sir. So much.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
Okay, it all comes back to making sure you have the baseline layout set up.
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson. But since my father was known as callously unfaithful for the longest time, It would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him.
That is unfortunately very true.
But now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show their appreciation for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis and everything they did.
Shouldn't Navia be featured with them too?
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble.
Navia, no, you've been doing so much. While you two were going through devastation, you did still pull everything together to help, like, you know, save as many people as possible. You've been there doing your best, like, you know, taking up the mantle that was like left behind empty.
Maybe we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
You've already done a lot, Navia.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
That too. You were also part of helping save the entirety of Fontaine.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol.
Okay, but it's true. We're not trying to inflate your ego with, like, you know, just words. It's all true.
Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to match what my father did for the people.
Well, if that's what you think, I think it'll just be a matter of time.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready yet.
That's understandable.
Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callis. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no need for all that. Let's decide on a design right now.
Straight to the point.
Hey, you! Come over here with me.
Oh, okay. Me? What are you doing? Are we gonna help with the posing?
Modeling a few poses, of course.
Here we are.
Here, just pretend to be Callis, and I'll be Clementine.
Okay.
Didn't you say on the boat that Callis and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner.
Excuse me while my face broke and it has a permanent smile. Oh god.
Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
God, my face hurts.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas?
Shouldn't you be running the show?
Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. It's probably because my idea of them is already kind of set in stone. So, I want to pick your brain for a bit, and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Okay, then let's try for something imposing. Then let's try looking out into the distance. Why don't we just strike a happy pose? I don't think imposing is what we want to go for here, especially with their dynamic. I feel like even Callis would, you know, have more happy or like cheerful look on his face, like being around Clementine. So I feel like the distance or strike a happy pose. Though I don't know. I also don't really have a good gauge on Callis or Clementine as people.
A happy pose? You mean something like we were laughing together at a funny joke?
It could be like that. Or just it was a happy, peaceful moment too. Just a genuine like... Oh, what's the best? Like there's something... No, that's not good. Yeah.
Would all that be able to come through with just a picture?
Maybe, but no. I definitely think we need to try something else.
Would we even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing about?
to me personally, I don't think knowing what made them laugh is important, but I can see where Paimon's going with this.
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to sculpt as well.
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're talking while
And
the other one laughs?
I just don't think the laughing thing here. No.
That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it. Let's try something else.
In the distance, then, like maybe imposing, but I don't think that's something Clementine would do. So I really do think it would be like they're looking somewhere.
By that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
I don't know. I feel like we're not going to be able to. Now I'm getting ideas, and like I said, I don't really. I can't know those two really well.
You really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate. Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to the lady.
Well, we can always adjust that. Obviously, it will.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
I don't know.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
Yeah, on a boat.
Wait, but we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
Then I guess imposing would be it. But then again, it could be none of our options, and Navia actually, like, comes up with one on her own.
Since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
Okay.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
Okay, maybe this is more of a us statue, okay? I don't know about your parents, but I think this gives more of a us vibe, especially you, Navia.
This pose! It makes me recall Sfina di Rosula's glorious golden age.
But then again, I guess maybe it was exactly them.
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too
Bold and heroic.
Was she really that kind of person? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
I mean, maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't.
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist disappear.
Wow, that totally does not sound questionable in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
Paimon, don't worry. To make you disappear, they would have to do something to us. It's not happening.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias.
You basically erased them, and they had to start over with a new alias.
You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else.
Okay. No. I like how I agreed with them. I was like, okay, now that was an amazing pose. Probably still not them. Oh my god.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right. Paimon's all out of brain juice now, too.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their own right.
Very true.
Let's just keep the ideas we tried as backups. Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time.
I imagine you truly would have. You would have definitely also got Charlotte for the occasion, just to know that all of the shots would have came out spectacular.
Oh, outfits! Oh, that's the errand I forgot back in the city.
Well,
Do
there.
either of you still remember that girl? The girl I went to see with you two. Her name is Adele.
The girl you went to see with us. I'm sure Paimon and Traveler remember.
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
She always believed that her father... Oh, yeah, was a good person. Okay, I'm so sorry I couldn't remember. The name sounded familiar, but I genuinely could not place where the name came from.
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case, she was finally willing to talk to me. And she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too.
Oh, that's cute.
I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently.
No. I can see how she would think that, but no, genuinely, she just needs to wait a little bit longer.
But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as a gift.
I mean, that is really sweet.
But I got so busy and distracted in the city that I forgot to pick the uniform up. So I did forget something important after all.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up right away.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design. I'll have to trouble you to source some for me.
We could have just done that from the start.
Okay, come on, Paimon. That was fun. Hey, at least this way we got some cool pictures.
Yeah, you're right. They'll have some value as souvenirs at least.
Hey, they'll have the most value as souvenirs. You saw those shots.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Huh? But aren't you supposed to...
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the Fortress of Meripede?
Oh, geez, you were down there?
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. Gotta say, it turns out I was a lot tougher than I thought.
What did you do to get yourself down there?
After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar, briny smell became a primal call, urging me to forget everything else and just come back home. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
I know. Did you get the bad ones? I swear that's all they made.
It's good to have you back, Coulter. You look as well as ever.
And this guy is?
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the Fortress of Meripede some time ago.
Yeah, what was his crime, though?
But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he worked at the Confrérie of Cabrières.
That is possible. And I still don't truly... I think the... Oh my god. Oratrice, there we go. I think that worked more on people's belief too, so if there was a good enough case where he couldn't get out of it, he would be found guilty.
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you mean? He was involved in some sort of plot?
Oh yeah, you've been gone, so you wouldn't know about all of that.
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it and didn't care to ask for any more details. Do you mean Mr. Marcel was somehow involved with all that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That case, a lot of things have happened in Poisson since then. First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners, and they've been with me through thick and thin. Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone
Wow,
like
then
that
I'm
before.
honored.
So you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing. But we've been cool since before we even met her.
We just followed Navia's lead. All credit to Paimon. No, Paimon, your ego is way too high. I'm not giving you all the credit.
Humble again as always, I see. Even when I was totally sincere with my praise.
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me.
Ah, I knew it was
Where
coming.
are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by your side?
I knew this was coming. He didn't know about any of the stuff that happened in Fontaine, so he wouldn't know about Malus and Silver. I'm sorry, I got really anxious. I didn't want this topic to come up.
About that.
Oh man, you did way too good voicing her.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see, even Poisson isn't quite the same as how it was before you left.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
Okay.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because I don't know anything about what's happened.
No, there's no way in hell Navia would ever do a morbid joke like that. Like, it wouldn't be a prank. Like, she could never and would never.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa, also lost their lives in the disaster.
Malus and Melissa, dead. They're just gone? Malus. I was planning to give him a surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
They're playing the music again.
Hey, keep it together.
Paimon, it's a little difficult.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina. I can understand how he feels.
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning, there was a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. I'm not ready for this, and I know what happened. That has happened recently to Coulter.
All of this. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real. It all really happened. Has the world gone mad?
Had I not personally experienced all of those events, I also would have found them very difficult to accept.
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything he had, the Spina gave to him. It's unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane research.
Everything about that case was so fucked up. Like, you can understand like where he was coming from, like with his feelings of just desperately wanting Venier, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. She did nothing wrong, but wanting her back. But the things he did in his hopes of maybe finding a way to bring her back were just so horrible that it's so obvious how in the end she just genuinely never wanted to see him again. And her final mercy and hope was that he would never come to that plane.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and distribution network. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
Romeu?
Not a name I've heard before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the Aquabus lines.
Oh.
Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callus believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute was hard to come by, and would allow us to build many valuable relationships.
Which is very true.
Not only would the Aquabus be a good business investment, it would also boost our reputation among the general populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line. But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spino di Rosula altogether, and the split was on extremely bad terms.
Ugh. And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
Yeah, it must have been very dicey.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
That couldn't have been the first time a dispute like that happened, right?
Oh, that's a good point. If Callus was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, boss, you might not know this, but he wasn't always like that. He used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side, it was pretty smooth sailing for a good many years.
I can imagine that.
But on the matter of the Aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callus's side.
Huh. I never knew. But from my perspective, Romeu's position had a lot going for it. Couldn't they have sat down and talked it out?
I think the Aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back. On that topic, they eventually came to a rather radical conclusion. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with Callus's child.
They decided just because she was now with child for the person on that side that she would throw away her impartiality. Like, I can kind of see where they would think that, but at the same time, they're fucking stupid. Because if all it took was with child, you'd think, like, then she's like, well, I can't betray the man who I have child with. It's like, clearly, you'd think throughout all of this, she would want to be on his side, if that was to be the case. At the end of the day, I don't think she would just all of a sudden become partial and, like, biased because of that. Like, I get, emotions and tension was running high, so, a lot of things can come up from that, but that's so stupid.
So, they thought she had betrayed them?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person, and a member of the Spina. She should have the right to take any side she wished.
Exactly. She had the right to take whatever side. And, from what we've been hearing, there's a lot of the times she chose the voices of the people. So, for them, they just saw that she picked his side on this one matter that they deemed the most important to them, and decided she's a fucking betrayer. Clearly, because he is the father of her child. She suddenly just does not care about us. It's all gonna be about Callus. Like, that's so absurd to jump to. Especially when you take into the fact that there were a lot of the times where she was with them on things and on their side and tried to mediate and speak for them on their behalf. It's just really, really fucked up.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough.
Yeah.
They felt like their voices could no longer be heard once their sole mediator had gone over to the other side. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callus began to regard the completion of the Aquabus project as her final wish. With that, the last hope of reconciliation was gone.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina, and never gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
Yeah, they may not have ended on good terms whatsoever, but well, unless you're saying that he was in connection with Marcel, like they at least seemed kind of friendly, then it's possible. But there's still no concrete proof that they are connected.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
I think Coulter's got a
Yeah.
point. Both Marcel and Romeo had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeo's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get revenge on us, with how distracted and vulnerable we are, now would be the best time.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know right away.
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling me about this as well.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? How about we go out for a walk? I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down even now. I mean, to think that I'll just never see them again.
Very understandable.
In that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip. Want to come with me again, you two? You don't mind, do you, Coulter?
Oh, of course. That's fine by me.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We want to see Adele cheer up. We want to see the future star of Spina. Yeah, she's gonna be the star, okay? Navia, she's gonna take your place.
We really are the best
That's impossible,
of partners.
but...
Come on, let's go.
God, everything about this is always just so much emotion. But again, if anyone tries to do anything to Navia, I'm going to have to fight you. Nothing personal. It's not even a threat, it's just a promise. Oh, I thought it was a breakable box. I've been here so much, but I still forget the tiniest of details. Oh, stamina rebuilds real quick.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're
hiking
there,
trip.
we can stay a few days before we return.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Okay, I don't want to miss dialogue, so...
Time to go.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was quite the workout.
Yep, they definitely kept you moving.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court. Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass, and when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callus was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. So, of course, we all worked really hard. And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse.
I don't really think that's a bad thing, though.
Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia's macarons? Paimon's been dreaming of them.
I know, we only ever got to have them once.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and
Yeah.
Silver used to take care of tasks like this.
There's a lot of things you now have to get used to, now that you're mostly on your own.
Okay, the stove's looking good. And as for the ingredients, seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. The two most important ingredients of all.
Should I go get some?
Oh, would you? Oh, but it would be too much to ask you to go on a trip just for those.
We should contribute to making the macaron too! Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so he should have some stuff on hand.
Yes. I'm always cooking out in the wild. Lies, I teleport to Mondstadt. But I cook out in the wild.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flowers and wheat, I can start the baking.
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Great. Then I'll prep the stove. Let's get to work, everyone.
Aye aye. I should legit have all the stuff on me already, but let's grab extra. Cause I don't know. You can never be too sure. Cause I've made flour. Let's just see how many sweet flowers I actually have on my person. I have like none of these. I totally remember everything about the menu here. Yep. Sweet flower. Here. Yep, I have enough. I can certainly say I have enough, Navia.
Ah, how did it go? Did you find the ingredients?
Yep, here is wheat, and here is sweet flour.
You've all done your part. Just leave the rest to me.
Navia bakes a batch of macarons with her usual gusto.
These macarons look and taste magnificent! Your cooking.
Boss's
Oh, sorry,
baking
Navia.
skills have
Pa-
always
Paimon.
been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how exceptionally talented she is.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so...
Unfortunately, we can't quite settle down in an area yet. There are still some important things we must do. You really want to poach me from the Adventurers Guild, huh?
Was it that obvious? I just thought you would be a great fit, that's all.
It's not like I don't agree with you.
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been quite a while since we last spent time together. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down.
Hey, Navia. You know, we could always visit more, as long as nothing catastrophic is happening.
Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of the world.
Navia's right.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaron.
Of course, Paimon, that's what you'd remember.
I understand now. Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water, in celebration of this moment.
Oh. I thought I heard something just now. Was it just some small critter? No, that's probably something very important.
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick, join in on the toast!
Cheers!
May your travels go smoothly, may the Spina continue to grow, and may our friendship last until the end of time. All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
All there was a bird egg. No. There's definitely someone watching us, but who, I don't know. It could be the people we are currently looking out for. It could be another party. Who knows? But again, touch Navia, and well, you'll know what fear and pain is. I'm amazed you didn't go to Tiori
Hey
for
there,
this.
Ludovine. How's business lately?
The Demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. Oh, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her Demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect Demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Yep. If she can do it in person, she'll do it.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has
Hey!
got a point.
Hey,
Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
guys, turn around. We have a fucking stalker on our hands. I see him.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Sorry for shouting too. I just saw the dude in the corner of my eye.
Again, why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me.
You did give her kind words too, back when she still held a resentment towards you because of your father, you know?
After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa. So, as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well.
And that's understandable.
But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her.
The two of you have contended with similar circumstances.
Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I concur.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
So I wasn't just hearing things.
Is something up, Traveler?
Follow me. Someone's tailing us.
Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Paimon saw them too. They headed up.
Yep. Oh, Paimon, look at
right
Navia
there.
go. I knew the person sitting there wasn't just... Okay. Y'all are pretty slow for people trying to make an escape.
We knew you were going to be difficult.
Well then why did you even bother?
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
Okay, y'all just made a great mistake. Oh my god, trial Navia! She's gonna be way better than my Navia.
Illusion shattered.
Rise. This one's got your name on it! Haha!
Oh, come on. Fine.
Umbrella warfare, I
Come
guess.
at me.
A proper send-off from the Spina with love. Coming at...
Okay, I'm sorry. Navia's just fun to play.
Now, talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
Recognize your situation and don't entertain any fantasies of escape. We've got people above and down below as well. That is actually true.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken. Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula.
Definitely part of the group.
We were discovered and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
Bitch, back the fuck off. Excuse me. There's one thing to be like, you don't like the organization. But till now, because of who she is, like her identity, be like, why we hate you so much. Back the fuck off, motherfucker. God, I've been holding off as much as I can with cursing. Just cause. I swear a lot. But yeah, no. I would advise you to calm down.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day.
Cool, you did, with your sour attitude.
Too bad you guys messed up ours first.
Yeah, no, you're a fucking dirty-ass liar.
Huh?
You followed us all the way here.
You're pretty sharp. But so what? We didn't do anything. And now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway.
What do you mean you didn't do anything? You stalked us. That in itself is a crime. You did something.
Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
If y'all are that fucking, like... Oh, I wish I knew the word. There's so many words going through my head, but I know they're not what I actually need to use to describe them. But if they're that fucking weak-minded that just seeing Navia pissed them off and ruined their day, then they have bigger issues.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
I doubt you guys actually get it. Also, Navia, you're too kind. You're
Are
playing
you sure
very
it's okay
smart,
to just
but
let them go
you know.
like that, Navia?
I don't want to inherit
Yeah.
my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either. If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation. Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
Yeah, like, I get, no, what Navia's doing is the smart end. I always hate it when it comes to, you know, things in regards to parents and then their children. When the grudge is obviously against a parent that, like, the kid had no decision making in. you know, it's always so annoying that how basically that grudge does get inherited by the child, given the circumstances. It's always something that annoys me. It's like, if they aren't the person who you held the grudge with, you're just being petty and fucking bitter by continuing on and basically hating the innocent party as much as you did the person who, you know, slighted you.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already. So why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Come on, Paimon. It's just gonna be for a night. It's not that big of a deal. Even though I hate seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Bet you there'll be people singing sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
Ah yes, Paimon, ever since your last performance with Ito, I bet you're excited. No Ito to stand you up too. Got the outfit. Now we need to make our way to the Fleuve Cendre.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon.
Yeah, Paimon, we've spent a lot of time here, all things considered.
If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
That would be pretty crazy.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
That would happen, yeah.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it.
I'm sorry, Carrot. I'm doing something.
You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Yep. Try her, Paimon.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way now.
She may be kidding right now, but Paimon, don't test her. She will have her revenge. I do not believe there is any problem that can only be solved by force. Yeah. When we, of the Spina de Rosula, act, I'm certain that we'll be able to resolve your issue with minimal harm. From things as small as living supplies and household affairs to matters as large as factional disputes and savings, the Spina will do all it can for you. Okay. Yeah, who's this? I've actually never talked to the people here. An old companion of mine. It could have lived free after I modified it, but then they took it away from me. There was no time to take anything back, because they then gave me a new workplace, the Fortress of Meripede. By the way, before Lucelle belonged to me, it was a Gardamek with the guards. It didn't resist when I modified it, so I took that as consent. Okay. And that's how you landed a new job in jail? Yes. Even so, this job has some perks over my previous work at the Fontaine Research Institute. My time in in Meripede was more conductive to creativity, to be honest, given the lack of complicated process and boring summary meetings. Even my daily meals were delivered by clockwork machines, such an enviable situation. A shame, though, that the canteen manager refused to sell me that machine. Alright, such an innovative spirit should be praised. I doubt this is a compliment. No matter what, such an innovative spirit deserves praise. I have some materials of various sorts, please take some. See if you can come up with some innovative ideas. Okay, that was worthwhile. Now I guess the only way to sit would be if I steal the seat. You enjoy a fantastic meal, as well as a wonderful performance.
Hello? Are you asleep yet?
Navia, did something happen?
Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Sure, why not?
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
I'm amazed Paimon hasn't fallen asleep yet.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything.
You're good, since the invitation is coming from you. No, you're good.
Don't worry. You don't have to do any actual fishing if you're too tired. Just think of it as keeping me company. How does that sound?
Oh, no problem at all, Navia.
Okay, let's go. To the fishing spot.
Okay, the fastest teleporter. Loki would be here. Yeah, Navia, don't feel bad. Even if you did wake us up, it's not a problem. Not in my eyes, at least.
Fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
Hey, it's still fishing, Paimon. Come on.
What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
Yeah, see, Paimon, it's alright. I got distracted by the music.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
I mean, maybe, but there could still be excitement to it.
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler?
I gotta agree with Paimon. I think that it is a fun thing, but if we're talking about efficiency, then automation is more efficient. This is hard. I'm thinking about like actual like what I would prefer. I'm sticking with Paimon.
Let's try regular rods next time. We can have a real fishing competition.
Yeah, we'll see who wins.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina.
Your mother?
My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say.
That is usually how things go, yes.
My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. all the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Maloose and Silver were always there too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Maloose come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes.
God, Navia, that was a horrible thing. You couldn't... It must be really hard for you.
Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight.
It's okay. If you need someone to talk to about those things, it's perfectly natural and it's alright to do so.
Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense.
Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together.
It's fine, Navia.
We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
See, Paimon, you wanted us to do things manually? Looks like we have to do it.
You want Paimon to help too?
Yeah, Paimon, come on. After some time, you finally managed to reel in the prize catch together. For the rest of the night, your rod continues to rack up catch after catch, while for some reason, Navia can't seem to hook a single fish. Navia is quite upset about her bad luck, but it's only when you begin to head back that Paimon discovers the real reason to the mystery of why she didn't get a single bite.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Oh my god. She forgot the hook! Oh no! Damn. That seems like something I would do.
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day! We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
I see.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Fair is fair. Yours was a little bit more important, though, unfortunately.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
Paimon's like, it's way past my bedtime.
All right, go to bed. I had a great time today.
See you tomorrow, Navia.
Mm-hmm. See you tomorrow.
I might need to slap someone tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know.
So how was
I'm not gonna
last
judge
night?
him quite yet.
Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get
Okay. Okay, Paimon.
Huh.
Oh, Wow. Navia's like, yeah, I'm not impressed. And just where did you get that from?
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
Navia's so done with Paimon's shit. Oh my god.
See? This guy gets it!
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Oh, we literally got the rod. Yesterday's tears, tomorrow's light. Hold on. I don't know why I do that. I could just do this. You have a pleasant time and a fine night in the Fleuve Songe. It is time to go and give the clothes you picked up to Adele. Something's gonna happen on our walk back. Even if it's just dialogue. But I think something else is gonna happen. We'll just have to see. Oh, that's underground. Yeah, that's where the base is. I don't know why I can't read maps, apparently. Again, too much Star Rail in my mind. Having to navigate on my own is apparently a difficult task.
Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
There's nothing wrong with her saying boss.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
It's been a while!
Hello again.
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
Genuinely, though, I think a lot of, the, you know, regard and fame should go to the people who are from Fontaine. Truly, they did a lot more than us.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing? Can I look?
Yep, it's for you.
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform! Is it for me? But isn't it a bit big?
Well, it's a gift
Yeah.
for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed.
It's just you need to get a little bit older, you know.
But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety.
Yeah. Don't put all that stress and anxiety on her quite yet.
So, I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to wear it.
Oh, so that's it! Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia! I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can!
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
You can't still work really hard, but yeah, no. Time's not gonna just poof by like that.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Oh, okay. Bad things are going down.
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
Are they serious?
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeo and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
Could they have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
No, there's a mole.
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
Wait. They're not.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Really, these stupid fucking petty pieces of...
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeo and his followers hate the Spina, and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
They are fucking insane because they're blinded by their own selfish fucking anger. Like, yes, I'm not saying that, like, that decision back then was entirely correct, that it didn't affect them. It did affect them. It was something that maybe there should have been more discussion or, like, at least thought behind. But also, it becomes selfish when you decide, oh, well, our pain and our suffering is more important than all those innocent people down there. That's when it becomes selfish.
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe, too.
These people are fucking out of their mind.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
You piece of shit. I'm gonna... He hasn't even done something yet, but I know he's about to. I want to... You guys can't see my arms. Anyways. Okay, guys. Time to take him out.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
Yep.
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Coulter, are you with Romeo too? Oh.
Yep.
I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Yeah, nope. I was gonna give him some reasonable, like, grounds. No, he's on my shit list.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
Why? Genuinely, why?
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out.
Nope. Is it? Nope. Because, okay, so I was right. It's 4. Excuse me as I say this. What the fuck? Genuinely. What? What are you...
But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move.
What is all these people? Like,
Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know, but I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why? He's gonna explain some stupid, dumbass reason that literally makes no sense, and I should just actually get through the fucking dialogue and just let him continue on with his stupid mumbling, like, just... But why?
Why?
Thank you!
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question.
She had nothing to do with the past! If no one's told her about past happenings, she shouldn't be fucking... If no one's, like, brought up the topic of the past, if no one's thought it was right to bring her in on it, she is not foolish for having no idea. And it's not a foolish question to go, why? Because truly, all of these issues stem back from before she was born and before she could have any say or anything in this. And again, I think I have some theories in my head, but I'd really rather hear them from the person who's being stupid. But I just, this is all so aggravating on a level that I can't, it's making me tear up because I'm actually just frustrated.
You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson.
Uh-huh, okay.
But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little.
Oh my god, okay. And? Good thing no one's home,
And it was
almost.
all because of you, Navia.
Oh look, this little kid. It's all because of you. Man, are you, like, pinning this all on, like, because of how her mother died? Or, like, just stuff behind that? And if so, you genuinely are the lowest, tiniest piece of, like, fucking dirt in the entire world. Like, I can't with you if that's where this reasoning is going. It all stems from...
Clementine died because of you.
Yes,
Callus
exactly!
died
You
because of
motherfucker, you piece of
Malus
stupid
and Silver
shit.
died because of you. And so many more dead. Everyone dead, all because of you.
Listen here, you absolute piece of garbage. You literally have no fucking rights to go up to this person who's lost all of these people too and say you are the reason. Genuinely. Like, you know, everyone could sit here and argue, oh, but Clementine died because of complications with childbirth. Okay, that's technically, genuinely, not the fucking child's fault. The child doesn't get to gain consciousness and grow up and get told, oh, by the way, you're a fucking monster, you murdered your mother. That's not how that goes. It should not be how that goes. With the father, unfortunately, from what we've learned, he was going to die. He was. And then during this time, he also learned that she was going to be a victim to some scheme. And so he chose to die even sooner to protect her. That doesn't make it her fault. Because in the end of this, it was his decision to go out like that. You can't fucking fault Navia for being chosen as the next victim of a psychopath who was just, like, heartless and cruel. Not Navia's fault. With Malus and Silver, she didn't want that to happen. She was just, you know, trying to save the people of Poisson from this disaster that no one could have known, no one could have predicted, planned for. None of that is on Navia. She didn't cause this. She has... You cannot blame her. You know, you may have been close with all those people, so you have every right to feel some resentment, but to put it all on her enough to be like, I'm gonna kill you. I want to make sure you're dead so much that I'm willing to die with you in this rubble. That's just a you problem.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was dead the moment I got out.
Excuse me, I'm... Ooh, I'm simmering. Oh my god. Ooh.
Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened, and resolving to apologize to Malus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aqua bus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking.
And that's your fucking fault.
The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you.
You know when you're so angry, you kind of just stare at the thing that like is making you pissed off, and you just have nothing to say. Like, your mind genuinely just in that moment cannot come up with a proper response to answer someone who's just fully gone down the deep end and kind of just starting to spout so much nonsensical, self-centered shit. My poor baby bean. No, girl, no. Traveler, come back. I mean, actually, you need to actually stop the bomb, but otherwise I'd say come back. You know, let me do this. Fucking Hoyo, let me step in. Someone fucking...
I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
And you know what you single-handedly are doing and all that? So, you know, okay, so you're saying all this is Navia's fault. So clearly what you're implying is to all those people and things you held dear, Navia was super important and worth protecting. And so you know what you're doing? You're looking at the thing they wanted to protect. They wanted to keep, like, build up so she can, you know, be in the place she is now. You're looking at that and fucking spitting on it. You're stomping on it. You're basically saying to the people you supposedly cared about deeply that you don't give a fuck about what they felt or thought. It's all about how you feel. Sorry, I'm getting really upset. I'm getting so upset. I'm so sorry. But no, that's what you're saying. I'm glad I couldn't say your name right, piece of shit, because that's your new name. Holy fuck.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Because he is. Navia, no. Genuinely. She can go and... She does feel responsible, so she's gonna listen to this and take it to heart. Because she's just a genuinely good person who was put in such a terrible situation. But Navia, genuinely, a lot of those things, especially the latter half, which he is so stuck on with Malus, Silver, and a bunch of the people in Poisson, you literally aren't the reason they're gone. It was the primordial sea. It was the fucking heavenly principles up there. That you did nothing about that other than try to save people. So that's not your fault. Again, with your mother. You didn't do that. It's an unfortunate thing that happens to people. And then, you know, we have the stuff with your father. Again, not your fault. Look at fucking the bitch who targeted you in the first place. Not your fault.
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all?
Have you ever thought that people around her obviously cared about her a lot? Obviously, there are gonna be people who don't like or respect or care about someone. There are. But what's the point of giving them the time of day when you can be giving the people who you love and respect and care about the time of day?
Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing?
Have you ever thought you're the fucking piece of nothing? How can you sit here and have actually heard about what happened in Poisson and all of this shit and truthfully go and look at Navia and say that she's done literally nothing worthy of respect and that literally all of these people caring about her has been because of her fucking father and mother? You were just told about the perils that happened to Poisson that literally could have eradicated them all. And because of the unfortunate tragedies that did happen, you're sitting here and negating all that she did do, all that she could do. And you're negating all of her grief she's felt towards all these situations. You yourself are the lowest piece of, like, anything. Like, you're so low. You could never reach the heights of poor Navia's, like, genuine, like, goodness and how much she cares about her people. You are just... To all who think I'm ranting too much, I'm so sorry, truthfully. I'm sorry. I can. I truthfully can. Because let's say we weren't looking at Navia, someone who I made it obvious I truly already care about and like a lot. Even if it was to someone who I didn't really overly love, to see someone just throw senseless, completely false shit like this at them, intent to ruin them and all this, I would be just as pissed.
Have you ever considered that? Maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came.
Okay, and? Truthfully, what does...
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes.
Navia, genuinely, to all of the shit he's throwing at you and saying it's your fault, what mistake did you make that caused it? With your mother. It's not like you did that. That wasn't a mistake you made. With your father. What did you do other than you were the kid, I guess? Like, what was Marcel's reasoning for picking you? Again, not your fault. With the tragedy of Poisson, what mistake did you do? What mistake caused all that? You can say sending Malus and Silver out to, you know, help the people evacuate was your mistake. But they would have done that anyways. They were with you. They wanted to save the people of Poisson. So while you gave that official order, that wasn't actually all your decision. They wouldn't have just listened to your order if they didn't trust you, if they didn't genuinely side with you.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support me? Is their kindness
Navia.
real?
Hold on. Navia, listen to me. Okay? Girl, you can't actually hear me, but listen to me. Your father, Malus and Silver, and all the people who've had your backs, they do care about you. Their support and kindness is real. There are ways to tell when someone's truly just, you know, talking highly of you or being around you because of fond memories of, you know, what used to be. There are tells. But I mean, even look at Adele. Do you think her, who has no real memories of how Poisson was back in its golden age, is she looking up to you, aspiring to be like you and work with you because of your parents? Or is it because she saw you stand up after your father's death, and then even through, like, her resenting you or not really, like, you know, feeling comfortable around you because of what happened with her father, still say nice things to her and stand up for her and, like, end up proving that her father was innocent? Like, is she genuinely only sharing kindness with you because of that? Did you not do something to gain her kindness and her respect? Malus and Silver, you know them. They always were with you. They were by your side. You heard what they said of you. Malus literally said he would love to be buried by your father just so when you came to visit, you know, he would be able to save you an extra trip.
Shut your mouth!
Yeah.
I, for one, really like Miss Navia. And my mom loves her too.
Yeah, come on, Navia. There's people who genuinely care about you and love you, okay? Don't listen to this fucking dickhead who's the one who's stuck in the past and decided to take out all his anger, frustration, and mourning out on another victim. Just because, unfortunately, she happens to be the one who, if you look at the main source of the resentment, it would pass down to her.
I don't know how to explain it, but I like her. And
Yeah.
that's that.
Exactly. Sometimes you don't even need to know how to explain it. It's just a feeling.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now.
Oh, yeah, no. He legit probably would be the person slapping you in the face right now.
You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
No, we're not getting out of the way, because guess what? We actually fucking care about her. Something you seem to think we can't do.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula.
Okay, we get to kick his ass? I would love to kick his ass. Oh, hey, look, there's some pieces of shit here. Hello.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Ouch.
Oh,
I hate you.
feeling lucky?
Eat shit.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Oh, hey, you're gonna die before you're supporting it.
Fire!
Look at that.
Well, with rocks.
Ow.
Umbrella warfare, I guess.
Sorry, I just had to shoot him real quick. You can die to an axe. Oh, wow, you have people
Umbrella
here.
warfare, I guess.
Oh.
Fire! Well, with rocks. Hiya!
Get here.
Feeling lucky?
Whew, okay, sorry guys. Angry rant over, hopefully.
Florent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly, and don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians. I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Oh, can whatever fucking, like, high power above just
Let's
give
hurry up,
Navia
we have to protect the Clementine
like,
line.
a break? Like, can they stop actively trying to ruin her?
If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
Oh, hey, you
Into the wind.
motherfuckers,
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. One with nature.
I mean, you sons of a nice lady,
Shine down. And voila.
okay. I don't, oh, reinforcements, god.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call. One.
We certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
I'm gonna smite you all for being pieces of shit.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
The second you
One
let
with
your
nature.
resentment become like willing to harm
must be the
a
explosives,
bunch
right?
of people
And
who
this
have
is the
nothing to
control
do with your
mechanism.
resentment, yeah, you've lost it.
How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff.
What's this?
Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for?
Could it be some kind of keyhole? Or maybe an emergency switch?
Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find.
Okay, we just looted him for money.
Let me turn this guy over. Oh, he's super heavy. He could probably eat a whole paimon just for breakfast.
Jeez. And he didn't have much. Oh, he had a radish for some reason. And he had a key.
You found it! That's amazing!
Okay.
That should do it, right? Navia and Florent should be able to relax now.
We should still check out the perimeter just in case.
Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere too. Like,
Sorry, Paimon. Oh, it's a cutscene. Oh, it's from up top.
they're gonna bury Poisson!
Oh gosh. Oh, let's go.
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Oh, you got this, Navia.
Block them all!
Watch her.
I'm doing this the Spina way.
Yep.
Fire!
Look at her go. We got you. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, oh, my bean. I just want to cry. Oh, I'm so proud of you, but also, can I slap the person? God, the mental trauma that he inflicted on you.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
I have nothing more to say to them.
Yeah, no, they can deal with the full face of justice. Fuck them.
Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to.
Exactly.
Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! And you were so cool!
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time.
Oh, Navia. You look a little pale. Feeling a bit fatigued?
It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
Got it. That's good at least.
May I? No, that's too mean.
Coulter. I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes, so that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula. But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
She is, which is why this is eating at her so much.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person.
Oh.
Thank you for protecting the Clementine line.
You also protected it, Navia.
I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
It's okay, everything's fine now. I'll get you back to Poisson.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth.
I will always tell you the truth.
Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
Thank you. Holy shit. This is a great way to have the voice aligned. Yes. Navia, there's no world where I would have said no.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
Hoyo, you were too mean to
How do
this
you feel,
poor
Navia?
bean.
Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days. Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me.
A little weird, that's true. But that's because I've never heard you doubt yourself before.
I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life.
Everyone has someone behind them, giving them strength, or even helping them. It doesn't make them weak, it's just... It does make it harder when that support system that you've always had is ripped away.
Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence made this world a better place?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough.
God, I hate seeing Navia like this. Ooh.
No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
May Navia only have pleasant surprises in her future, please. I think that's... yeah, that's underground, so it's here. Ooh. One second, just cause I want to... Yeah, Brenna, you killed it. Like, your voicing with Navia throughout everything has been so killer that I have felt so emotional. You're amazing, and I can't wait to hear you in Star Rail. God, I'm gonna be all emotionally tucked out later. Okay. Go with Navia to see the surprise.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished. But special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before. So I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really look that bad?
Navia, let's just say it's really obvious that something's up.
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
Oh. I've seen this image before. Oh. Oh, that got me in the feels.
This is...
Oh, I wasn't prepared.
Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
Oh, see Navia, oh baby Bean, they love you.
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
I'm trying not to cry. I don't know how Navia's still not done any of that.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We are gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well.
I will also always believe in the bond between us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
Oh, and that's how it ends? Oh. Oh. That... Navia. Baby Bean. You don't understand just how much you really have done for the people.
It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. I'll pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all of you. Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier.
It's totally understandable why you did, though. Don't feel bad. About the gift from the townspeople.
I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others, but they themselves can never obtain. To me, that would be a family portrait. I've always been super jealous of other people's family photos. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own. Especially not like this. It seems like I'm not such an unlucky person after all. It seems like looking back on it, I'm honest. You know, I've thought about it before. Though my mother only wanted me to live a happy life, that's actually a tall
It's a
order
very
as well.
tall order, yeah.
In practice, it's just as hard to achieve my father's expectations for me.
It truly is.
Even though my parents had very different personalities, they always had a lot of respect for each other. The Aquabus project was a monumental project that stood to benefit all of Fontaine. It would have been a little close-minded to assess or evaluate it only from the perspective of the clan. I think that's probably why she didn't step in to mediate or oppose the building of the lines.
I can totally see that being one of the reasons, yeah.
It seems like I start looking back on it. I'm
About
honestly
asking, do you
embarrassed
really
by how I
wanna
acted earlier.
About asking, do you really see me as your partner?
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why'd you have to remind me? Please don't say that again. It's super embarrassing for me.
I'm sorry, but like to, you know, us, it came a little bit out of the blue.
Oh, forget it now. Please forget that I ever said anything. Oh, wait. But it'd also be bad if you were to forget it.
Yeah, it is something we can't simply forget.
Okay, but please keep it a secret between us from now on. Please don't ever mention it again.
Well then, that was something. That was a lot. I had a bunch of emotions of like, you know, Navia, she has a way of just lighting up a room and making you smile. But then also, just given all the things that has happened around her in recent times, it is one of those cases where you need to remember that she is still going through a lot. And she may not like, you know, bringing down the mood, but it is genuinely healthy and totally understandable to want to talk about those things with the people you feel comfortable around and trust. So, everything about this quest was really enjoyable. And I do, in fact, really like it. I'm happy with my choice to pick this one. And it's going to be interesting with the next one I'm going to do, because I think I'm going to do one more in this. So on YouTube, whenever you see this one out, know that there is another story quest that should be ready to be up and about whenever I get to it. But yeah, I think we will be successfully moving on to our probably last story quest for the day. And then we should be able to pick up another day, and we'll probably maybe get through all of them. But we'll just have to see. But again, to YouTube, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all very dearly. I could never express it enough, and I will see you all next time.